Davis Cup has long been tennis's most emotional, engaging form of competition. A high-stakes team format pitting players from different countries, playing not just for themselves, but for national pride.
And here they come, heroes all over the court.
Where the flags wave, the fans cheer, and the intensity is off the charts. But that would not be the case for the opening round tie of the 2009 competition between Israel and Sweden. At the outset, it seemed nothing more or less than a competition between two nations. But the first round Davis Cup tie between Sweden and Israel had become something altogether different. Its civic leaders having shut the doors to the public out of fear of anti-Israeli protests, the city of Malmö in Sweden was the setting for one of the most surreal yet entertaining Davis Cup ties ever played. 2002 Australian Open champion Thomas Johansson and Israel's Harel Levy kicked it off in high fashion, reaching 6-6 in the fifth. Since there are no tiebreakers in the final set in Davis Cup, Johansson eventually snapped up the last two games to give Sweden a 1-0 lead. For the second match of the tie, Israel pinned its hopes on Dudi Sela. Slight in size at 5'9", Sela is large in the heart department and proved it on this day. He rallied from 2-1 down to take out Andreas Vinciguerra and finally winning 11-9 in the fifth. With the tie leveled at 1-all, all eyes turned on the pivotal doubles point. Inside the arena, as tensions rose, it spilled onto the streets of Malmö. That same Saturday, outside the arena, Swedish police clashed with dozens of anti-Israel protesters. While inside, Swede Simone Asplund and Robert Lindstedt scraped by Andy Ram and Amir Haddad, winning 6-4 in the fourth. And so Sweden took the lead into the final day of the tie. Miles away from home, up against one of Davis Cup's most successful nations, the Israeli cause seemed hopeless. But once again, Sela stepped up. This time it was versus Johansson. Sela dropped the first set, leveled the match by taking the second, dropped the third, then finally took the next two. 6-4, 6-2 to give his country a 2-2 tie. It would come down to one last match. Levy versus Vinciguerra. And it was superb. The two battled at it for more than 3.5 hours. Levy took a 2-1 lead. But Vinciguerra fought back to send it into a fifth set. It was an epic battle. Neither player gave an inch until late in the match. Levy ultimately earned the biggest win of his career with an 8-6 in the fifth. Israel went on to take the tie in a bittersweet victory, remembered as much for the circumstances surrounding the tournament as the outcome.
Politics won over sports. That's sad. You don't see that very often in tennis. Maybe Sweden lost the tie because they didn't have the normal advantage of a home court. What happened in Gaza was horrible, but you have to separate between sports and politics.
Israel had earned a resounding triumph and would advance to play Russia. Sweden had not only lost the tie, but also lost significant credibility. Malmö, Sweden's third largest city, was banned for 5 years from hosting a Davis Cup tie. The Swedish Tennis Federation was also fined, and in the future must guarantee that all ties be played in front of the public, no matter what the circumstances. And yet, mere bans and fines could in no way compensate for the tremendous setback Sweden had taken in the court of public opinion. Regrettable, bizarre, memorable. These three words best describe one of the strangest Davis Cup ties in tennis history.